guys, thanks for tuning into the channel again. My name is Liz and I'm a reseller in Maryland. The weather here in Maryland has been pretty rough lately for estate sales and yard sales, so I decided to go find some forgotten footage and bring back some sunny yard sales to brighten your day. Let's go check out what I found. So this seemed like it was just going to be a family type yard sale, which I guess it was, but it was one of those situations where it ended up being a little better than I expected. There was a ton of stuff, as you can see. I ended up picking up a couple of these book sets. I'll put some comps in. This was How to Train Your Dragon, and then a Little House, like Little House on the Prairie set. I think they both sold pretty quickly in the booth. Now, when I price them for the booth, I don't put the full online comp price. I bring it down a little bit. Because remember, online, you've got millions of people shopping who are willing to maybe pay up. So I did grab that CD. It was sealed and it was 25 cents. It'll probably sell for $10 in the booth. Now, it's interesting when you watch your own footage back and you're like, I didn't even look at the video games, really. I picked up the Guitar Hero thing. I think the Wii was $50 and I just don't know enough about the value and how to test it to deal with it. I don't technically know a lot about Pokemon cards, but I know that they can have value, and I know my kids like them. And so, spoiler alert, I do end up buying all of these Pokemon cards, and I did grab this little guy too. He's actually listed on Etsy, that little Halloween piece. I did miss another one. Sometimes I get distracted, usually by myself, and, conversing with people at the sale, and then I accidentally miss things that are fantastic. And sometimes you're going to end up seeing my purse or my feet because it's important to the conversation that's going on. So sometimes you'll see something like that. So this kid was really cool. He ended up quoting me a really good price for everything. And I bought it all. I bought all the Pokemon cards. I have trouble making my own price for something. But when he said that I could have them at the very low price of $10 for all of them, of course I said, yes, thank you very much. He even helped me carry them to my car. He was a really nice kid. So I did buy the drum also for my son, which we sometimes use to try to wake up the kids. It doesn't work, but it's fun for us. The jewelry guy was leaving when I arrived, so I didn't spend the normal amount of time going through all these bags. He had gone through all the bags. In fact, I think the woman running the yard sale might have said that to me. So I did, what's the word I want? I had a perfunctory search of the jewelry. I didn't actually see anything that I wanted. So he must have found all the good stuff. Sterling gold or vintage. I'm sure there was some vintage in there, but it wasn't the type of stuff that's very sellable for me. They did have some other things I looked through, some books and puzzles and purses, but they just weren't really something I thought I could flip for a profit. But still a great yard sale. Overall, I wasn't able to find out much about this bag. It was kind of cute though. But I have a lot of purses in my booth right now, so I didn't pick that up. Had a great time at the yard sale though. It was actually a really nice way to start the yard selling day was with this family. And a wide range of items too. And look, another nautical box. I think I bought this exact same box a while back. It'll probably sell for about $12 to $15 in the booth. When I bend down, you're always going to see my favorite walking sandals. Okay, so I always buy mugs because I can sell them for about $10 in the booth. And if they're very inexpensive at a yard sale, I don't mind picking them up to make, $10 or something like that. This was a pair of older ladies, older than I am. I don't know, 65, 70, something like that. And so I grabbed these Coach shoes. I think she wanted 10 for them. And I don't know why I didn't get these cats. That's the other thing about going back and watching your own footage. You wonder why you didn't get something. In fact, something's coming up that I missed that I literally screamed and my daughter thought something was wrong with me. She thought there was a spider in the room. It'll be interesting to see if you guys spot it. I don't know how I missed it. So this shirt caught my eye, and I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool shirt. And then I was like, wow, this is a cool shirt. And instinctively, I was like, oh, Sean John. And then I was like, oh, no, Sean John. No. I had to get this. It's smoky. Patrice has, I almost said reignited. Oh, goodness. Reignited my interest in Smokey the Bear. I'm saying it. It's too bad. The brain does it. I have to let it do it. I often buy vintage jean jackets, but I have a couple right now, so I passed on that. And there was a nice Turkish demi-tasse set that I almost bought, but I just didn't feel like the comps were there, and I don't like photographing and packing and shipping, that kind of stuff, that much breakable stuff. So it's under that table where the lady in purple is. Oh, I think she put it up on the table now. And she wants to sell me this wind chime, but it was made of ceramic. That just seems like a disaster waiting to happen. It actually made quite a nice sound, and I liked that it was hens and eggs, but I passed on that. But this was a fun little yard sale, and I think if I had gotten there earlier, I would have gotten some more good stuff. It seemed like they had the type of stuff I liked. I have this little vintage snack set. Not a big money maker, but the more pieces you have, the better. The colors and the style are cool. I got a couple of articles of clothing. And they were pretty nice. The Coach shoes. Not the Sean John piece. I think I was waiting for a price on something, and I ended up going back to the clothing and picked out this really cool, it reminds me of, is it called Mola? This type of artwork. That's what this shirt reminds me of, so I had to get it to put it in the booth. I think that may have sold already. Now, this is the yard sale I want you to have your, wait, is this the one? I'm trying to think if this is the one where the lady had this. Yeah. Keep your eyes peeled for the error that I made, or the oversight where I started screaming and my daughter thought there was a spider in the room. This lady had really cool stuff. She kind of knew what she had, with the exception of the thing I missed, I'm pretty sure. So some of it wasn't dirt cheap, but I liked her style. She and I had similar taste. So I did spend some time looking through her jewelry. She had a couple of nice pieces in here. Some I passed on because the profit margin wasn't big enough. And there were a few things that I was kind of later, why didn't I get that? There was a little political LBJ, like a hologram type coin almost. And when I was watching the footage to see where the teachable moments were, I was like, why didn't I get that? That was pretty cool. Although I have been finding that political pieces aren't selling as well as they used to. And let me know in the comments if you've noticed that, if you've ever sold political pins or anything like that. Oh, here's the LBJ piece, I think. Now, this little enamel pin was $5, but I thought it was well worth it. So I think I did grab that. Spoiler alert. This was back in October. This was lost footage, salvaged footage. Yeah, I thought this was really cool. I guess in the moment I was thinking political stuff doesn't sell for me. I'm putting it back. And this I probably should have bought too, but I didn't understand. I thought it was a different alphabet for a second there, but it was one of those 80s pins, which I usually love. Oh, I bought these earrings for myself. She said they were Czechoslovakian glass. And for some reason in my mind, they were fruit earrings, but they're not fruit earrings. They're floral. So I did buy those, and I wore them at Christmas because the red and green were so cool. So I went through all of her little things. She had really neat little knickknacks. Nothing too sellable in this particular bin, although now I wish I had bought that because that was kind of weird. And I like weird. Not a good watch. She had some really neat antique photos. This is really cool too. I don't think I bought the clock pieces. So the photos were relatively inexpensive, $1 a piece. I'm asking her about that. So I did grab those, and I think the tin types were $2 a piece, which was a good deal. So when I turn to the other tables is when there's something that I missed. Oh my goodness. It's funny because I definitely had that feeling at her sale that I was missing something, that there was something there. Sometimes I feel like we know these things. This guy was cute. I didn't pick up these swirled glass pieces because I've had one for years that hasn't sold. That's even more beautiful than that sphere right there that could be Dansk or could be China. So I did not pick those up, even though in the past I would have. So it's not that I didn't see those. They used to sell for me solidly for $25 to $30. Those, I think that Dansk makes those spheres that have the swirl and the glass. So many cool things at this sale. So fun to look. So she must have taken down a knick-knack shelf. And so I'm looking at the little knickknacks. But she did kind of know what she had. And I have a lot of knickknacks for sale. So I was trying to be a little cautious. But man, looking back, let me know when you see the error of my ways. It actually might be on the next table. It was only like a $50 to $75 error. Even though I think the last table was the dollar table. It's fine. It was in October. Somehow that makes it a little bit easier. Maybe someone who came after me saw it and was like, oh my gosh, they left something for me. Oh, I'm checking to see if this is sterling or silver plate, but it was plate. And sometimes you can make money on silver plate if you have a large set. I don't do great with silver plate with just a few pieces. This is the table. I don't know what happened. You can see it clearly now. Over to the right. In the back. I forget what they call it. Like a whirly, twirly spinner ornament in the back. I have a pink one. There is a green one. They're worth at least $50 a piece. They're plastic, but they are amazing. I'll put in a screenshot of the one that I sold. Actually, I think I sold a few. Or someone's comp so you can see it more up close, since apparently I completely missed it. It's okay. It's okay. She keeps saying it's okay. I'm starting to think it isn't. Apparently I survived, so, I do like old books in other languages, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you buy them because they really don't sell that well for me. But it was cool that she had them. Pretty nice lady. Knowledgeable, it seemed. At some of these sales, you won't see me paying because it always feels weird when I pull my wallet out and sometimes I flash my ID or something. I don't know. You won't always see me paying, but I promise I do. She did. Those stools were actually pretty nice. See, I'm going to go pay right now. But I have to take one more look to make sure I'm not missing something on the wrong table. Ay, ay, ay. That's really cute. Didn't remember seeing that when I was reviewing the footage to make sure I kept the teachable moments in. So, yes, she was very nice, and I think she appreciated that we had similar taste. So, yeah, I had driven quite a ways on this particular day. I was in a different town, not very far, but far enough that I couldn't get there as early as I would have liked to maybe get some even better items at some of these sales. When you meet someone who has really cool items, you can't help but wonder, what did they have at 7 a.m.? Because they had $50 ornaments for $1 at whatever time this was, 9 o'clock or something, 9:30. So there were several in this neighborhood, as I recall. And this lady had it was very nicely organized. It almost looked like one of the neat vendors or resellers at a flea market with these box lids, box lots, almost like when you go to an auction. I've only done whatnot auctions, which are very fun and addictive. I have not gone to real auctions as an adult, as a reseller. So she had a lot of cute items, but I think I ended up passing on a lot of them. These were resin, And I just don't have great luck with resin pieces, but I loved this. The box attracted my attention, this vintage sari. And she says in a few minutes, oh goodness, hold on a second. I switched rooms to see if I could avoid Wesley's barking, but I have a bad feeling he'll start barking in this room. So I did take a look around to see if this very nice woman had anything else I wanted, like maybe like a Griswold cast iron skillet. But alas, it was not Griswold. So I happily paid her the $3 for the sari. And I'll put up as close a comp as I can get. She said that this sari was at least 50 years old and that a friend had brought it back for her from India. So someday I'm going to list it in my Etsy shop. Right now I'm just going to hoard it in my death pile. So I love this wooden Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark was one of my daughter's favorite toys when she was little. Okay, fine, it was one of my favorite toys. And we would bring it everywhere and she would play with it. All the little animals. Plus it closed up nicely around all the animals so you could carry it around. I don't know why I didn't buy it. It was so cool. It would have sold in the booth or on Facebook, I'm sure. I don't know. I don't know what came over me. A flood of emotions moved me towards the books. So I often buy Harry Potter books and Harry Potter sets. This family had researched quite a bit, I guess, the value, and I just decided that it wasn't going to be worth it. But keep your eye out. Those book sets still sell. And the Deathly Hallows, there's an edition from 2007 that you should look out for, at least based on my research. And here I'm just looking to see if there's an unusual book or a signed book, maybe, but I didn't really look to see if they were signed. It would have to be unusual and signed. I thought that title was interesting. I think it said Buzz, right? So I partially decided to do the voiceover because I'm not doing a haul, but to do the teachable moments this way, but also there was a little bit of whistling. If it comes through the voiceover, if I leave some ambient noise in the background, I apologize for those of you who can't handle it well. I love whistling, and I don't even notice I'm doing it. How could I possibly stop when I don't know what's happening? But it should be relatively quiet. Here's another thing that I'm surprised I didn't buy, but pottery pieces like that, serving pieces like that have not been selling as well for me, and I think that's why I didn't grab it. But looking back, right today, I would have grabbed that piece of pottery. So I didn't get anything at this yard sale. That is actually relatively unusual for me. So this particular yard sale was on a very busy road, so hopefully that ambient noise isn't too loud. And these people were resellers. They were dealers like me, which is not my favorite person to buy from because hopefully if they're doing their job as resellers, they have researched the items and they know what they're worth. But it wasn't so much that. It was more like you could kind of tell that they were selling the things that hadn't been selling in their booth and probably aren't selling in my booth either. So 5 years ago or 10 years ago, I would have bought so much stuff at this sale. But I knew from my own experience that a lot of this stuff came from a booth where it had been sitting a little bit. And so I decided to be cautious. Plus, of course, your pocketbook and your brain get tired. You get like yard sale fatigue, right? I'm not complaining. We love it, right? You're tired at the end of a marathon, but you chose to run it, hopefully. And so I tend to kind of pare down my spending as the excitement starts to wear off. But they did have interesting things to look at. And you never know when there might be a unique ornament or a piece of glass or a piece of pottery that you recognize as a Bill Campbell and someone else didn't know. So I did spend a few minutes looking around. And I did buy 2 things from them, which I will show you kind of briefly. And if I can't find a photo comp, I'll put something in text to give you an idea of what I think the item will sell for. Like this little cat from Russia. I love these wooden pieces that are made in Russia, and she is so darling. I don't think she is sold yet. I'm checking her ears for chips, but I'm surprised she hasn't, and I probably should list her online because I've never seen her before, and someone out there is looking for her. So I grabbed her. I think she was $1. And then I grabbed this like very natural rustic wooden vase for $1. I believe it has like a glass insert, so you can actually put a flower in it without having water all over everything or leaking out of your wooden vase. They look really nice with dried flowers and stuff in them too. Or hat pins or something. I mean, so many options. And here I'm going to the other side of the table. Sometimes a different perspective changes things. Sometimes things hide. So I'm making sure that nothing was hiding. And we do still have one more yard sale. And there were some fun finds there. The lady was very nice and was offering me a bag, even though I didn't feel that I needed one for the 2 items I had. But yeah, I think that vase will sell for, I'm going to say 12 to 18 in the booth. And the cat, I'm going to try to look up a comp for you. Again, this was a few months ago, but my guess is that she's got to be worth at least about 25 online. This lady was quirky. I asked her how much something was. She said $2, and then 60 seconds later, she said 10. I did not buy that item and did not include that footage, but I did like the condition of this Coach purse. And when I asked her how much it was, she said she had to check a list that her daughter left her. That's not a good sign. So she kept telling me it was Coach, in some of the stuff that I edited out. And I did end up buying it for 20, and I still haven't sold it. So that's not my favorite kind of teachable moment because it helps you, but it's painful for me. But it still helps you know that maybe that style of Coach isn't the best one to pick up. I kind of wish I had bought that little cat bell. It's really cool. This was another sale where I kind of felt like this lady had a lot of stuff that I normally would buy. Like I think I missed some stuff. In fact, I think she just had one of those little strawberry canisters that I sold a whole group of. And for the life of me, why didn't I buy this mouse candle? I can't see clearly if the wick was like melted into the top. I don't think it is. And it's off camera. I apologize. Normally I would buy that. The box is cool. Like I said, decision fatigue. I think I ended up putting this back. I don't think I ended up purchasing her because I think she wanted something like $25 or something for her, which maybe the frame was worth it. I don't know. If I did buy it, I have no idea where I put it. Whereas I remember processing some of the other items. It's hard for me to always film a haul. I need to make sure that like no one's home and or the dog is out. He wants to bark again. And so sometimes I don't get around to filming a haul. But I think in this case, for this video, we're going to be okay with our teachable moments inserted and our comps inserted here. So I was telling the woman, I have a friend, shout out to Jim. Jim, you know you love Bigfoot. And I think I bought both of these sweatshirts. I think I put one in the booth and gave the nicer one to Jim because I was like, this is amazing. Like, Bigfoot's being abducted? Jeepers. Anyway, I did have a really great time yard selling on this particular day. Had some teachable moments for me and for you. I hope you guys get out there yard selling as soon as the weather permits. And I hope you guys find some amazing $50 ornaments. Or like a liquid blue t-shirt that's worth several $100s. These are just t-shirts for my booth. They do sell regularly for $10 to $12, and I think she said they were 50 cents. So I grabbed a few of those. People like them distressed. I'm sure you know that if you watch any other resellers on TV. I hope you guys go out there. You find amazing stuff too. I always hope that you never stop searching. even if it is for someone's old t-shirt. And I will see you guys next time.